Welcome back. In this episode, we give you an update on regulations in Malaysia, as well as providing information on how consumers can get involved in the COP10 process by contacting their government officials. In a country where 5 million adults consume combustible tobacco, it has been a very topsy-turvy and winding journey for the advocates there in their quest for a regulated market. Last year, the government proposed regulations, including the controversial Generation Endgame, but it was put on hold due to an election. It seems the regulations are now back on track, and Samsul Arifin of Move Malaysia provided us with this update.
On February 24th, Malaysian budget for 2023 was tabled in the parliament, and the item that got most attention was the tax that will be imposed on vape products. The Prime Minister, who is also the Finance Minister, announced government plans to impose an excise duty on vape products. The Finance Minister said it is estimated over 2 billion in vape products has been sold despite not being recognised in the eyes of the law, and it would be prudent for it to be regulated and taxed to discourage vaping. He added that the government also supported the Generational Endgame Bill, the GEG, and agreed that half of the proceeds from this excise duty would be allocated to the Ministry of Health as an effort to improve the quality of health and services. However, specifics in regards to the regulation framework was not disclosed. Based on previous announcements, there will be a 10% excise duty imposed on devices and 1.2 ringgit Malaysia tax imposed on e-liquids. We hope the government do see vape and heated tobacco products as harm reduction tools and impose a tax that is risk proportionate. In doing so, we will see wins in 3 areas, namely the drop in smoking prevalence and an overall increase in public health. Consumers are able to use products that are regulated, approved, tested and safe. And lastly, an increase in government revenue in terms of tax collection.
This coming November, tobacco controllers from around the world will be meeting in Panama to discuss the future of safer nicotine products at the COP10.
Looking forward to COP10, looking forward to be in Panama, that is the country that is going to host us. And really then we are going to have many decisions on technical matters that were deferred to the COP10. And I hope it will be also a wonderful one in this very nice country that is Panama.
So what exactly is the COP10? It is a meeting of global tobacco controllers to discuss and make recommendations to member countries on how to implement policy around tobacco. So why is this one so important? Martin Cullup, International Fellow for the Taxpayer Alliance, explains.
Last real one where they all met together was in Geneva in 2018. So that's like 5 years of hatred building up basically towards harm reduction products. So they're going to be throwing the kitchen sink at the things. And we know from documents we've seen, from the TOB-REG document, which is the scientific report full of cherry-picked science and what have you, and the reports from COP9 and even before, that they have a few targets. They want to ban open systems for a number of different reasons. They want to ban on flavours. They want to restrict nicotine salts. They don't think that, they call it manipulation of nicotine concentration by manufacturers. They don't see the upside of it being helpful for smokers switching to other products. They just see the threats. They want to regulate by nicotine flux. I think we're going to hear a lot about this in the future, which is where they'll regulate on the rate of vapor emissions from vaping products. So that would mean regulating everything from battery size to nicotine levels and nicotine salts, nicotine forms. This is all mentioned in their documents. They're very open about it and they're publicly available. They want to redefine smoke, and they want to redefine what the definition of quitting smoking is, as in they don't consider quitting smoking to be continuing to use nicotine. So what they want to try and do is somehow redefine heated tobacco products, vaping products as emitting smoke, not vapor or aerosol, and that way they can then bring it into the remit of the FCTC and claim some sort of role in regulating it. We've heard rumours that I've seen a leaked document that says they're going to try and, well, they are going to mention harm reduction, but they're going to mention harm reduction in the way they see it, which is medicalising the product. I've seen a definition, because I've noticed a couple of things come out where the documents say, we don't believe harm reduction includes continued use of nicotine. So they're going to have a completely different definition of harm reduction than we do. They don't think it should be a consumer product. They don't think anyone should make a profit out of it, unless it's medicalised and, you know, on prescription.
Nicorette Inhalator, a clinically proven nicotine replacement aid that provides the hand-to-mouth of a real cigarette.
But that's the way they're looking at harm reduction. So they've realised now they can't ignore this issue. They've got to, you know, bite the bullet on it. But they're going to talk about harm reduction, but only to redefine it and undermine it.
So, what should we all do about it? First of all, get involved. Contact your local advocacy organization and ask them for advice on who to contact. They are your best resource for information and evidence on how to get involved. Contact local elected officials. Remind them that they work for you and you are the boss. Let them know that you expect them to represent your interests and concerns. You may think, what does one person matter? But you do. Each person who presents a united front makes the message stronger, as we will be coming in as one voice. Lastly, thank you again for joining us. And please keep an eye out on social media for more information about getting involved in the COP10 process. The next TAV Sunday sessions will be taking place in April, where we will discuss how consumers can use government data in their advocacy, so please keep an eye out on social media for date, time, and links. Until then, stay safe and be well.